Yes, I am back from Milan. Stevie P, Vinny T. Steve, do I even do an introduction? Let's get straight into it, shall
Let's
we?
go. Let's go.
Let's go, and gentlemen, pay attention.
Welcome to the Milan Weekly Podcast, the English voice of Milan fans all over the world, with your hosts, Vinny T and Stevie P.
Benvenuti nella casa
Giro in area, si gira, sinistro, rete, gol capolavoro di Olivier Giroud.
Mignon with another magical save.
Mamma mia, Teo Hernandez, coast to coast, del numero 19.
Leao carica il mancino. Eccolo qua, Rafa Leao.
Il Milan è campione d'Italia.
Cari amici sportivi, welcome yet to another edition of Milan Weekly Podcast, episode 251 to be exact. Yes, I am back. A week of dreams, Stevie P, a week of dreams. Wow, what an experience this has been. Stevie P, Vinny T, always here faithfully every single Monday. Stevie P, how has it been, Milan Weekly Podcast, without your partner in crime?
We made it. We made it. It was Jan filling in and me hosting and him answering questions, which is a bit weird. Gio and Fab, they pulled in the coast to coast shift for the Champions League, and Fabio doing the great live viewing party there with everybody joining the YouTube channel. Guys, we're coming out with content, guys. The Gio and Fab are doing a great job of coast to coast. They'll be on Wednesday after the Champions League, Wednesday evening, to talk everything about the Champions League. And now we're back, Milan Weekly Podcast, talking about what the week was.
And I just want to take the time to thank Gio and Fabio for not only doing, the group therapy sessions, you guys taking over while I was away. I wanted to give a special shout out to David and Angie from Milan Club Philadelphia. Steve, we stayed in one of their many $1 million homes across Italy. Guys, it's been an experience like no other. The Derby with my cousin Johnny. It was an incredible feeling, and I even said, Steve, if it would have stayed 3-1, it wouldn't have been the same kind of feeling. It was 3-2, and they kept on banging and banging. What an experience! And I think the best experience to me was the guy sitting next to me. I see everybody smoking, right? And he had a kid next to him, so I'm not gonna go smoke in front of the kids. So I start speaking to him in Italian, and he speaks to me back in German. He does not understand Italian, and all of a sudden, I see the son. He's about 5-6 years old. Steve. He goes like this. I look at him like, John Cena. You can't see me. He understood wrestling, right? So all of a sudden, I wrote on my phone in English. I'm like, translate to German. I'll go, your son's face and emotions once we scored that 1-1 goal just really made my experience so much. And as soon as I made him read that, he was in heaven. What an experience, guys. And I just wanted to thank yourself, Gio, Fabio, Presidente, Jan, even Francis coming on to the podcast on the post derby. I loved his input. Thank you to all, but especially to David and Angie. Thank you so very much for the experience. And Steve, did you see the video of me walking into the San Siro with a guy with a Messias jersey, an official Messias jersey? You can't go wrong, right? But thank you for holding on the fort. You guys are awesome. Vinny says, "Did you shed tears at the game?" Yes. And the video that I sent you guys on Patreon, me walking in through those stairs and seeing everybody there. It was a surreal moment, and just the way I said, walking into Casa Milan to the museum, and my cousin told you, my first words were, "I wish Stevie was here." And Steve, I know it's not a question of if, it's a question of when.
It'll
We
happen.
will, it will happen. It will happen. But thanks to everybody. Steve, do we have anything else in the housekeeping? I know we have always our sponsors, would it be Dairy Queen, Pinef, Manmade, but I believe you got yourself some new swag today, Stevie P.
Yeah, went to see our friends at Evangelista Sport. Picked up this beautiful zip up. You know what? It's much different than last year's. I find that the bottom is a little bit more comfortable for us big chaps. Double X fits nice. Great material. The elastic on the wrist is a little bit looser, so it fits through the watch. The beads don't get stuck. It's a nice collar. But guys, very nice from Evangelista Sport.
It's the same kind of motif as mine. And I'm gonna tell you something, Steve. I saw a nice pull-up. You know me, I like the zip-up jerseys, right? And they had a nice one, the black and red. I'm looking at it, they don't have my size. And I see my cousin Johnny. As soon as he sees it, it's like, okay, I need to get this one. I'm gonna replace my old one. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna buy the same thing as him, right? So I picked this one out. I zip it up. I'm like, this is perfect. A perfect t-shirt to match it. As I'm about to buy it, I see him try it on. I got mad. I looked at him like, don't you fucking dare buy the exact same thing as me. Buy yourself something else. Okay, I'm sorry. He put it he put it back. And I'm like, I need to be the only guy in Montreal as for now to have this military cameo. I like it, Steve. It's I sent the pictures on the Milan Weekly Podcast Patreon group, and everybody's like, especially Husney. Husney likes the drip. He likes the Milan drip. But the more and more I look at it, the more it's setting in. And on a side note, thanks to Milan Club Dublin, we went to meet them after the game. Steve, you know what they say about Dublin guys, that they're all drunks? It's true. It's true. Mike was fantastic. The guys from Milan Club Dublin as well. Thank you to them. But Steve, what do you think? Does it look better live?
I saw it live, and it looks better live than it looked. Well, we said it once we saw it. The green, the neon green is what makes it stand out. So
definitely the logo here. But look, guys, it's all about. And we're not here to talk about my experience and the Milan drip. Steve, Saturday, I was driving, coming back into Montreal. I was trying to watch the game. The Wi-Fi wasn't working on the plane, and I told my cousin, "Don't tell me anything about the game. I'm going to try to watch." What was his first? Yes, Angie. What was his first reaction? Oh, Giroud just scored. It's 2-1 for Milan. And I looked at him. I'm like, oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention, right? So I'm like, okay, just don't tell me anything. As we come off the plane. It's still 2-0, 2-1, by the way. I'm like, what didn't you understand? I don't want you to tell me about the game. I knew about the score I did in the game, but in the end, I did watch a bit of the highlights. Stevie P, where did you watch the game on Sunday?
I watched it at home.
How was it? Because it's not the same thing. It really isn't the same thing watching the replay. I know it was a hard-fought battle, but what did you feel about this game?
Honestly, the game itself was okay. I didn't think it was the best game that we played. What's worrisome is we were already thin, and with injuries, it seems like we're getting even thinner.
Yeah.
I think the ref just did not have a handle on this game, and he became the root of how this game was going to go, whether it would be bad or good for Milan. and that's not a good look on Serie A. And I think that is my indigestion of the week. This week was a terrible game for the Serie A referees. It showed inconsistency. It showed a lack of the proper use of VAR once again. And
Even the penalty, Steve.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Juventus. Obviously, we're going to talk about Juventus later. But does any Milan fan expecting that penalty?
No. And again, some people say it was a penalty. I'm going to go with the fact that, guys, again, I'm saying it, and again, people are going to take it the wrong way. That is the rule. And I get the rule. It's not a regular hand movement that the defender did from Sampdoria. But guys, we're losing the context of the game. This is in our favor. If it would be against us, we would be having a completely different conversation. We need to let the defenders defend. And this is not something where he blatantly took out. I didn't even notice it till they went to VAR. I don't even know how they went to VAR. I'm assuming VAR saw something that they didn't want.
Do you think it was more of the VAR referees going to you need to go take a look at this?
Guaranteed. There's no way the ref saw this with his own eyes. No way. But the thing is that now we're taking away too many things from defenders and how they can defend and how they can be aggressive in the box, whether it be with a tackle or whether it would be for, again, in this case here, going up for a header, challenging for a header. Again, I understand the rule. This is my frustration. I think the rule needs to change because we're losing soccer in itself, the sport. It's becoming a video replay sport, and this is not good for the game, and especially for Serie A.
This week was horrible, right? Would it be and we're gonna get into it with the Juventus, but Steve, I wanted to ask you, Leao's red card. I want to ask you about, because there was an episode today in the Roma game, and Relib, in the Milan Club Montreal chat, mentioned how, what's the difference? How did you feel about this red card, 2 yellow cards to Leao? I'm not saying they were merited. The second one looked, I don't know, it just looked a bit harsh to me. The first one, I get it, but now you're putting the team in trouble because we're facing Napoli on Sunday. Everybody's fucking injured, as we gone through last year. But what did you think about this second yellow card of Leao?
Again, this is the same thing. We've seen this in the Coppa Italia with Rebic, where you're trying to make a play for the ball and you're trying to make a soccer play. Soccer is a game of fantasistas. And if you're going to not allow them to go for an overhead kick anymore, this, again, is not good for the game. So, yes, the defender is trying to defend. Yes, Leao is trying an overhead kick, but he's not being reckless. He's not trying to do this on purpose.
No.
It so happens that he connects with the defender's head. It should be a foul, and let's move on. In terms of Leao and the defenders are not stupid. We know that Serie A is a very smart league in terms of the players and how they will know what your tendencies are, and they will obviously embellish. We know that Serie A has a terrible problem with embellishment. So we see now what's happening with Leao and other players too. As soon as they stick out their hand and it goes somewhere close to their face, people are dropping like as if they're getting shot, and they're clutching their face, influencing the ref to make a decision. If the refs do not take this very seriously and go over it and review what's happening, we're going to have fouls and red cards all over the place, and again, destroying the game. The refs need to take a real hard look at what happened this weekend, and they have to be accountable. And that's, again, the big problem. Like social media, the refs are not made accountable. They'll come out, they'll apologize, they made a mistake. Yeah, maybe one of the refs is not going to ref for a couple of months, that's his punishment, but they're not learning from it. They're repeating their mistakes over and over.
How
And
did how did you feel about the game overall? I'm some people. I don't want to say like the we didn't deserve to win. It was a hard fought battle, right? 100%. Sampdoria came back in with the red card. Um, I think this is the kind of game, Steve, that several years ago we would have won one or lost this game. But are you more worried from this game? Do you take more of the okay, we had a okay performance, or who the fuck we're gonna be missing against Napoli? Forget Leao, but
there's
all these
no
injuries.
performance. You can't get nothing from this game. The ref completely destroyed the game. We didn't get nothing from this game. And the guys in the chat brought up a good point. CDK had a goal disallowed that shouldn't have been disallowed. Someone's arm was offside. The last I checked, the rule is if it's a body part that you can score with that's offside, then it is offside. Last I checked in soccer, you can't score with your hands. So it seems like that was a goal that should have stood, and that would have made it 2-0. And I think the game would have been completely
Would
different
have been completely different
if it was 2-0. So again, it's the ref and VAR not doing their job and influencing a game. And we can sit here and I could say, "Oh, he played good and they played good." Once the red card comes out, I think Milan still had the better chances. I don't think Sampdoria was ever going to get in the game, but they did push to the end, and we got a very fortunate and I'm going to say soft penalty to put us 2-1.
Yeah.
And then again, the ref continued with his stupidity. The Theo Hernandez thing on. It's sickening.
We're gonna be honest, Steve. Like we were saying before, nobody expected that penalty. Nobody. I don't give a shit what anybody would have said. Nobody would. Well, that looks like a penalty over there, but look, the VAR is in. It happens. It happens. But would you say that we deserved to win from La Grinta that we showed, or do you think the right result would have been a tie?
This is an ugly win. It's an ugly 3 points. You need some of them from time to time in the Campionato. Others got some. We'll talk about the other teams getting ugly wins. So I think Milan did more to win the game than to actually lose the game. But because the ref influenced this game so much, I just want to forget about this game and move on and think about Champions League on Wednesday and then playing Napoli, because this ref did not just influence this game. He also influenced the matchup against Napoli, because we'll be missing Leao, and that's going to be a big loss for us, and we're going to need to figure out a way to fill in those big shoes against a team like Napoli, who's been playing very well.
And we're going to be talking Patreon questions of ask us about different formations. We're going to get into that. But Steve, this is a big week, correct? We have Dinamo Zagreb that maybe 2 weeks ago we'd have been like, wow, it's Dinamo Zagreb. They beat Chelsea, right? We have a game against them at home. By the way, I want to take a special shout out to Parsa from Milan Club Iran that reached out to us, offered us some tickets to go to Salzburg to watch the game. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but special shout out to him. But Steve, it's a Champions League game against a team that beat Chelsea. We got Napoli coming up on Sunday and Milan Club Montreal. I will be there. We need to be there. A big group. I want to see us there. Let's make some noise. But Steve, this is a big week, is it not? Forget the week that's coming up in October with Chelsea, Juventus, Chelsea all back to back to back. But this is a big week.
It is a big week, and Champions League is what we have to think of next. I think we have to protect home field advantage against Dinamo Zagreb, and
Dinamo
Zagreb.
Zagreb. Okay, yes.
They did have a big win against Chelsea. I think Chelsea was a little bit dysfunctional at that time, as we saw. Right after that, they let go of their manager, and And now we need to learn from that and not underestimate anybody, and especially in the Champions League. We saw against Salzburg, you let your guard down and you get down a goal, and then you have to go fight back for a win. Milan need to impose their play and not think about what's gonna come during the weekend with the matchup against Napoli, but think about one game at a time, and especially with the very thin, the thin lineup that we do have already. Let's see what has in store for. I have a good feeling for Wednesday. I'm not too sure about Napoli. I think they're just the condensed schedule. It's very tight, guys. This is a lot of soccer in a very short span of time.
Looking over to Patreon, and like Vincenzo says, good evening, gentlemen, and welcome back. Vinny, is it just me, or does it feel like we only had one striker since the start of the season? Divock is already feeling like a bus picking up another injury. Milan has been lucky that a 35-year-old Giroud has been able to hold down the fort thus far. But how many more back-to-back games can he honestly play without picking up an injury or simply becoming exhausted? I know we truly need a right wing. There's about that time that Milan focus on signing a young marquee striker that can be part of our long-term future. It feels like we need to start thinking about investing that 70 to 80 million required to line a young 20-goal a season striker. Wish this new ownership group. I am hoping that that our offensive department will rise a bit of boost. What are your thoughts? Thank you, and keep up the great work. He's got a good point, Steve. Would it be Theo Hernandez? Would it be Giroud? I'm sorry, the unsung hero since game number one for me has been Benacer. Benacer has been a soldier, but thinking of these kind of guys, even Giroud, can he do it, Steve? He can't play. He can't play every single game.
No, this was what we talked about at the beginning of the season. I think they should have went for another striker. Everybody was telling me that Origi was going to be this next striker. Again, I know following the chat, the Milan Club chat and the Patreon chat, we have Derek there,
Dr. Derek.
Dr. Derek, and he provides us with great insight. Again, I listen to him because he knows what it is. It's a tendon injury, and he's flying to Belgium to take care of that. Dr. Derek says that tendon injuries are not something that you can tell. They come up unexpectedly, but they need to be treated, and it needs to be 100%, right? So because of us, other more
Steve,
more
Brandon is going to be watching with Azzurri fan Phil on Napoli on Sunday.
Yeah, of course, great. Poor Brandon.
We feel bad for him. We feel bad. He keeps on the fort when Presidente, David is not there, or the First Lady. And by the way, Steve, he's not gonna tell you, but he was wearing a foulard. He was wearing a foulard.
He's the best. The Fanta family, the best.
The best.
Back to that, Dr. David said that needs to get 100% before we put this guy on the field. Again, for free, yes, at a high salary. I know it's frustrating for everybody, but I don't think it was as big as a gamble as we all think it is. I think this guy just needs to get fit. He was at Liverpool for quite a bit of time, really not picking up a lot of minutes. And like Jan said in the chat, it's not he didn't play because he wasn't good. He just didn't play because the people in front of him were just better than him.
We're just better, yeah. Makes a lot of sense, right?
I agree with Jan's statements there. So I think we just need to be a little bit patient. The problem is that we're very thin up front. We knew we were going to be very thin. And again, we're an injury away of having absolutely no striker or suiting up Vlasic with absolutely no Serie A game time. If he's back from muscle fatigue, it seems like everybody has muscle fatigue. So
muscle fatigue. A special shout out to Manya. Great saves, whether it be during the derby, seeing those live against Sampdoria. He kept us in the game. Steve, I don't know where this guy came out from, and we're not gonna be those guys that we knew how Manya was a world-class keeper when he came to Milan, but how many points has he saved us since this is only 6 games, Steve. Has he not saved us 3 to 4 points since the beginning of the season?
Yeah, I guarantee he's someone who's is a natural shot stopper. You see, very good with his feet, as we all notice, which is a big difference from Gigio Donnarumma. So it creates a lot of calm back there. It also helps Mike Magna that he has a center back pairing that has been playing right now for more than a season together. Donnarumma didn't always have that, and there were different central. I'm not making excuses for Donnarumma at all.
No.
But again, this is credit to Triple M and them noticing someone who was really good, and letting go Donnarumma when a lot of people, myself included, didn't think it was the best move, but in the end, it ended up being a fantastic move. So.
We have on the Patreon, Gio says, we back Vinny. I know you had a great time in Italy, eating great food and beer while visiting your family. Question: will Giroud be able to play 40 games plus? Because at this point, Luigi lives in the on the medical table, and Lazic is just 19-year-old who's an unfit professional culture player. Everyone, please like and subscribe to the channel. Steve, we just spoke about this, but I know he's fantastic for his age, but we can't go on like this, Steve. We can't go on with even okay. What's our backup? Lazetic, Rebic is hurt, right? That was our let's say our backup plan, but we can't go on like this.
No, this needed to be addressed in the Mercato. We did not. And again, it's a very big gamble. It's the same Mandzukic style gamble that we did the last time.
Very good.
Milan needs to address the striker position in the next transfer. Maybe not winter transfer, but in the summer they need to identify who their future will be going forward, because it's not with 40-year-old Giroud and 40-year-old Zlatan Ibrahimovic and a broken Rebic, right? So. A lot of people had said that CDK at Club Brugge was playing like a false nine. Again, I don't think I don't think that's a real solution. But push comes to shove, you're gonna have no choice because we're running out of bodies.
And Hasni saying, question: are we going to see less of Vinny because he has become too famous and hangs out with Paramount Plus pundits only? Laugh out loud. Serious question: is it worth taking a risk by testing 352 at this point? On the note, thank you to Marco. Marco from IFTV from Paramount Plus. He was there with, obviously he was a guest of honor of the Philadelphia family, Steve. He put us out on his personal videos on his Twitter page, and thank you to Marco. But Steve, the question to Husney, is it time 352? Because I don't think we have a choice right now.
No, I don't think so. They're not going to change they're not going to change formation.
You don't think so? No.
We don't have the depth and the players that are responsible enough to play 352.
So for you, this whole, we've seen on the Corriere sports media said that he might look for 352. Is this the time? Is this the time of these new signings? Would it be Dest? Would it be? Can you pronounce his name, Steve? Vranks?
Vortex. We're gonna call him Vortex.
Vortex. Okay, so do you think this is the time for Vortex, for Dest, to come on and maybe show us what they got?
They're gonna have no choice. We also have this Pittatore Aldeli, which I don't understand what's going with him. Why Pioli's not playing him? There must be something that he's not seeing to his liking, especially with the lack of bodies that we have. I thought that he would be someone that Pioli would count on. Again, someone, yes, coming from the French league, having to adapt to Serie A. Again, the 30 plus million price tag on CDK kind of forced him into the lineup. The other guys will have to earn it, And against Sampdoria, I think Calabria had a great game. I really thought we were going to see Dest at that position. We did not. So a lot of question marks to why why Pioli is not using someone like Adeli to at least scrape up some minutes from other people and rest. But it's only time's gonna tell. But we've invested in this kid, and I think he deserves, with the preseason
Definitely.
that he played, I think he deserves some shot. Again, he's probably seeing something that
We're not seeing.
So Vortex got
uh,
his chance. A lot of people were able to
But
get on the pitch, and he seems to be
to,
kind of in the
to
doghouse.
Brandon, Steve, he's a fellow Patreon member. He's been following the podcast. What does he understand that you're gonna pronounce his name how you see fit? Varanx?
Whatever,
No, Brandon.
ranks, Vernax. Too many. It's like a Wi-Fi password.
What is his name, Miss Steve?
Vortex?
Vortex. Okay, so Vortex is his name. That was our question from Patreon, and if I'm looking at Ask Vinny and Steve,
Well, before you
there-
ask Vinny and Steve,
Yes,
we
go
have
ahead,
to
Steve.
remind everybody of our friends at Manmade.
I was gonna get to that. Okay, so
Okay.
go ahead.
We'll
Talk
do it
about
now. Guys, the manmadebrand.com guys sent us a fantastic t-shirt that I'm wearing here, guys.
how does
This
it feel,
thing-
Steve? How does it feel in your body?
Honestly, the
on your sexy
quality
body?
of the material is fantastic. It hugs you tight up on top, in the chest, the pectoral area, and the arms.
Show us your
biceps,
pectorals, Steve.
But
Show
then
us.
for Fabio and all us plus size guys, leaves a nice loose at the gut. I'm wearing double X. It's a fantastic fit. These guys have done more than 12 months of research on this t-shirt, guys. So they want to avoid the usual culprits, right? They don't want it to shrink, so they pre-shrunk it. They want it to be a fantastic material that is almost seamless. They've done that too. They wanted something that's a bit more relaxed, but you can dress it up. They've also done that. And the sizing is true to fit, especially for the heavier guys. They're thinking of those guys too. Guys, what's important to me, you see the collar? The chin here.
That's a good looking collar.
This chin rolls every collar. This one here, been wearing it a couple of days, the t-shirt now. There's no roll over here, guys. So fantastic work with the t-shirt, guys. In Bocca Lupo for this.
And
they have great
don't remember-
videos.
Don't forget, if you go to it's in the comments. If you go to manmade.com, Steve, there's no promo code, there's no link. You just need to say, we heard from you from Milan Weekly Podcast, and you said that they'll sprinkle a little Milan dust on
They
the
will
water.
sprinkle a little dust, and it's probably going to be this fantastic soap. Guys, I have not used it yet, but I've heard a lot about it.
You want to show the other side, Steve, instead of the
Oh, sorry, I showed you the ingredients. Well, it's important that I showed you that because it's triple milled processed. It's made with US globally sourced products, and it's a natural moisturizer. So, guys, basically what they did is they stripped out all the bullshit from the soap, and they left you some great ingredients for you to use on your body. I cannot say right now officially that I have used it. I will be using it maybe tonight or tomorrow morning. Stay tuned. You might see me use
I'm
the
gonna
soap.
come pick up mine, but maybe Lady Polillo will she'll feel like, oh my, what's that smell, Steve? You smell so manly right now. Who knows, right?
We'll see. But that's great product that retails on their website, manmadebrand.com, for $9. Guys, there's always the triple boxer and two pairs of socks. That boxer and sock bundle at $85 for the bundle. They also have a boxer and t-shirt bundle that's available for $89.
fantastic.
That's two boxers and one t-shirt.
It's fantastic material. Check them out, manmade.com. Local friends of ours, and the boxers, Steve, they made it to Italy, the boxers, and they were fantastic. Steve, let's I think you have a soundboard for us for our next segment, and let's talk about it. Yusuf knows he loves the trumpets, right? Steve, looking at this week's games, I'm going to ask you to look through all of these. We're going to get to the Juventus game, obviously. But looking at the first row, anyone that you wanted to talk in particular of, would it be the Napoli, 1-0 game, Inter 1-0. Surprising games for me. Like I was trying to watch there from Italy. It's like I was expecting a lot more than 1-0. But anything you like to add to these games?
Yeah, I think Napoli and Inter and Milan, all those games are on Saturday. I was able to watch them all. I think they all suffered, and that's a bit of, the compressed schedule and a little bit of rotation and injury. I think of the three, to be honest, Inter looked the worst.
Yeah.
And again, it's not to pick on Inter. I just think that they're just not clicking. The Torino team is also in Inter's defense, which I don't want to defend them at all, but I need to point this out that I think of the three opponents that those teams had, they also had the toughest opponent. Torino by far is tougher than Spezia and Sampdoria. So my comment on that is, again, winning ugly. You need that sometimes.
They did it last minute, Steve, did it not? They
Yeah.
did it last minute, and in the end, like you keep on saying, a year down the road, nobody's going to look at, well, Inter scored in the 89th minute. No, it's 3 points, right? They got it done. Napoli got it done as well against Spezia. Steve, Atalanta, maybe a surprise here. I don't know if it's a surprise. They've been playing very well since the beginning of the season, but 1-1 against Cremonese. I'm not sure if you were able to watch a little bit of this game.
No, I was not able to watch Atalanta Cremonese. Again, just watching quickly the highlights. I think, these are the types of games that a team like Atalanta will have. They'll dominate one week, and then another week they'll lay an egg against Cremonese. I think Atalanta fits in the Seven Sisters, especially this year, not really playing in Europe. People are going to have to watch out for them, but if they drop points against Cremonese, that's a tough pill for them to swallow. But there's a lot of problems at Atalanta. It seems like Muriel is on the naughty list of Mr. Dancing Gasparini, so he's pushing another person out the door, right? So
Bologna winning a game. We feel bad for Mihailovic. I haven't spoken to you since he got fired. I feel bad for Sinisa. We always love the guy, but Bologna coming up with a 2-1 win. Fiorentina, Steve, is it the same story as we see every year? They surprise us on some games, and it's like, oh, good old Fiorentina.
Well, till the first goal of Fiorentina, honestly, it was a very boring game. Myself and Ralib were in the Milan Club chat talking about this, that it was like absolutely boring, and I agreed with him. Again, I took a walk maybe to the kitchen for like 7 minutes and came back, and it was 2-1. So that's Bologna and Fiorentina. I think Bologna played a little bit of it with a chip on their shoulder. Sinisa Mihailovic getting the boot. It seems like it's Thiago Motta who's going to take his place. He was not on the bench for this game, but I think we'll see him. I think Fiorentina is just underperforming. They have Jovic up on top, who shows some glimpse. Their midfield is a bit strange, and I think they just let Bologna come back into this game when they had no business to be in this game.
Steve, I already lost at the bets with me and Jan. We were a 1-1, right? The last bet was that Ziyech was going to come to Milan. I lost that bet. And the bet so far that Jan gave to me, that Monza was not going to win a game before the winter transfer, I took that bet right away for another pitcher of beer. You saw the picture Jan sent me in the group. It's like, Vinny, get ready, because I love the sound that they sound. Am I losing the second bet, Steve?
Yeah,
I'm gonna owe him 2 pitchers.
They won't win again. They won't win a game.
They have to win a game before December. Monza, come on.
No,
I got excited. They went up 1-0.
Yeah, they went up 1-0, but it's just it's moments of brilliance from someone like Sensi, who's usually always on the injury list. And we complain about people being injured, but he's always injured. He had a nice free kick against Lecce. But then just Monza, I think they're just not a team. I think they're just a whole bunch of pieces put together, and you have that that bitter taste, and I think some of the players that played so hard for Monza to get them from B to A, and then you just keep on replacing them at the Galliani and Berlusconi style with players that they think are going to make an impact. I agree with Frank from Serie A Sit Down. He says that he thinks that with the quality of their players, they should be doing better and will probably stay up. For me, I agree with that statement. I just think that if they don't get someone to make them a team and play together, they can have all the individual players. They're not going to win a game before December, that's for sure.
Udinese coming up with another win, Steve. They've been playing pretty good. I'm not sure if you were able to see this one, but I think if I have to think about Serie A as a whole, the most surprising team for me is gotta be Udinese. I did not expect this kind of performance. I know, guys, it's only 6 games, relax, but wow, good for them, right?
Guys, Sassuolo just destroys themselves with red cards at the most inopportune time. And, they have Beto, and Beto, every time he plays, guys, that's a profile that if I'm Milan with a humongous need at the striker position, he has the physicality, he has the striking awareness, he has the Serie A experience. I think Udine will ask for a lot of money. If we can trim that down, that would be someone very interesting for Milan as a young. If I'm not mistaken, I think I saw someone say 24, 25. If that's his, if this is his next step, I would be very interested because, again, him scoring at Udine, with, not the greatest of supporting cast. And we can't say he's a byproduct of the system. He's been scoring last year too. Now this year again, he's scoring again. I know we haven't had luck with grabbing strikers from other teams in Serie A, but this would be something very interesting. I would be really curious to know how much Udine would want to sell him for.
We shall see. Look, Steve, I'm just going to skip over Lazio and Verona. I want to talk about it because it's the only game that I watched from beginning to end because I'm like, I need to make my research for the podcast. Juventus Salernitana. Let's talk about it. Polemiche. We had VAR on, what do you have there, sir? You have some sound bites for us, Steve? You're good, but look. I'm not going to disregard the fact that they were robbed 100%. But I will take Bonucci's words that said we shouldn't be in this position to begin with against a team like Salernitana. And I got him. How can you be down 2-0 against Salernitana? And I could see the emotions in their faces. And then I don't get how VAR. We do not have the images of Candreva keeping Bonucci on like. Steve, there was a lot of busted tweets. About this one here. But what were your thoughts about this game?
I've talked to many Juventino today and yesterday about this game. It just in passing. My first comment was Juve sucked.
They weren't great.
They sucked. They were terrible. They were flat. They showed no energy. They didn't seem like they knew what they wanted to do in the final third. On defense, even coming out with the ball, they had no clue. I don't think Bonucci, for how much, he's done for Juve is doing them any favors by sticking around. I think they might have
He's
to
not the player
change.
he once
No,
was.
and again, this is, a lot of Juventini, the honest ones, the ones that are more realistic and down to earth, know that Bonucci was able to be that ball playing back because a lot of his mistakes were covered by Chiellini and at the time Barzaglia and what they were doing with the BBC. But now he's getting exposed, right? We saw it at Milan, a lot of trouble, in coverage, a lot of trouble with decision making. Allegri hasn't done himself any favors either. I understand.
No.
You're losing 2-0. You're trying to get a spark. And you're subbing in Danilo. Like, I get it. He wins you a very soft penalty, which was given to get them back in the game.
And what a performance from the goaltender. I don't know what the Salernitana goaltender, but forget the save on the first, but he was on fire this game, and it just looked like Juventus was not gonna get the 3 points in this game. And again, look, Juventus fans, I'm not going to deny the fact that you were robbed. I'm gonna give you that, but us Milanese has been through it. Napoli fans have been through it. Not just, excuse me, I'm talking about Napoli. Every single fan of Serie A have been through it. Now, because it's up front and, kind of put it into place. And so what? Did we not get a goal disallowed last year that could have lost us the Scudetto because the referee blew an advantage before it was supposed to? What did me and you? What did you and I, Steve, said after that game? It sucks, right? Did we blame the referee for that tie or that? No, Steve, we lost that game. We lost that game when we scored. Messias had scored. You remember? Did we stay on this podcast and complain about the referees? We complained, but it was move on. Juventus fans, I'm not saying they're all like that. Move on. And I'm sure that Jan is in Naples. He went to Napoli. He went to Milan in Italy to visit his dad and watch a game. We have some busted tweets, but get over it. Get over it. Am I wrong, Steve?
You can't be the victim now. It's happened. They made a mistake. It sucks. You're never gonna get back that extra point, those extra 2 points. But again, Juve, unfortunately, like most of the other teams, sometimes they fail to look at themselves in the mirror, and they sucked. They sucked. A lot of people, especially on the broadcast that I was watching, were trying to pump their tires. That, of course, when it was 2-2, that they did a fantastic. They were fantastic in the second half. They sucked of ass in the second half as well. They were terrible. Just Salernitana, just by no fault of their own, just because they just don't have the quality, were able to let Juventus in. And it's again that penalty shot that was very soft, that was given to them, and not even looked at, just given to them, and that's it.
Where's the rigore per la Juve? Do you still have it on the sound clip, Steve? We've heard that way too many times, but anyways. And then today, Empoli, Roma. Steve, did you watch a little bit?
I was watching about it. Watching a little bit of on that game. I think Dybala was good today. Empoli did make it very nerve-wracking for Roma. Roma could have put it away, but Pellegrini misses a penalty shot, screws up my Fanta Calcio, and of course. The rest is history. They did take the league with Tammy Abraham, so I do have Tammy Abraham, but it would have been nice if Pellegrini was going to be able to score that penalty shot and get more points.
Speaking of Fanta Calcio, Stevie P, how are you doing so far? I see 505 points.
Yeah, I'm off the first page. I'm very far away.
Well, you're very far away. Look at these guys here, 464 points at Serie A Fantasy. I'm not even going to show you where I'm at because I don't really pick players that are probably on the 37 page, but we have a guy named Juventus. Villar at 460 points. Steve, what's been hurting you in your Fantacalcio?
A bit of injuries, a bit of mistakes in terms of players. It's kind of hard. You have one transfer, so it's challenging. It's not easy. People think that it's easy, but you got to pick players that score goals. And a
Let's have a
shout
look.
out.
Who does this guy have as his? Who does this guy have? See, Immobile, Vlahovic, Arnautovic, Leao, Double K. Who's this over here? Okay, we have Ibanez, Hernandez, Bremer. How does this guy have like in first place? Leao's out, right?
Yeah,
Vlahovic
but
didn't do anything on the
you're
last
talking
game.
about this as his team. It could have been his team now, but he must have made a lot of points in the previous.
Maybe made some changes. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. But you see, Steve, I'm in 346th position, 103 points. Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
Not bad. But Serie A Fantasy, and we'll see what kind of prizes are going to have at maybe in the at the winter stop. Steve, we got a big week coming on. We already answered the Patreon questions. We're going to talk about obviously the busted culture tweets soon, but how about your indigestions or Brioschi of the week? Anything coming to you?
Indigestion, I spoke to you guys about it. I think the refereeing was terrible. I think this is bad for Serie A. They need to get a handle on it. We've been saying it for years, so that's the frustrating part. I'm not gonna sit here and stone everybody about what I think about Serie A and how back in the dinosaur age they actually are. But the officiating needs to be cleaned up, and they need to be start making the correct calls and using VAR the way it's supposed to be used, so that we don't have games like Juve Salernitana decided by a wrong call. I'm gonna add Milan and Sampdoria by just the amount of sheer mistakes that were made took away from the game, and you can't even get something from the game because it was so influenced by the ref that I don't even know what to say. I don't even know if we played well or we played bad because it was so influenced by the ref that you can't even make a conscientious decision on what happened during that game. It was just mayhem.
I'm gonna counterpart that, Steve, to my Brioschi was the refereeing for the derby. He let everything go. I found it was a perfectly refereed game, especially with a Theo and Dumfries. I know you like to call him Dumfries. I just felt that he didn't want to take over the game. So from a week like that to a week like this one, forget Milan Sampdoria, forget the Juve game. It was just it was bad. It was bad throughout, and hopefully we can clean this up. And you know what, Steve? What pisses me off the most is that the Queen passed away. EPL wasn't on TV this week. You had the opportunity to have eyes on your Calcio.
Yeah, good point.
And you just, I don't know, controversy creates cash, as they say, but
No. The controversy creates chaos, and when it's production time, and you don't want that.
And Steve, my other Brioschi, I didn't tell you this, but so there's me sitting at the derby. And right to me is my cousin Johnny, David, the first lady, and the German guy next to me. When we scored 3-1, right? Everybody's jumping up and down, and there's beer that somebody spilled. Now, who do you think got the most beer out of all four of us?
Probably Johnny.
Yeah, I had like 4 drops. The German guy had like 2 drops. Johnny was soaked with beer. It's like, you know what, John, this is just even David's like, but your cousin Johnny, I had to push him away because he was hugging me. I was about to lose my breath because he was hugging me like a bear hug. But that was my feel good moment of the week. But how about you? You give me your indigestion. Any brioches for this week?
Honestly, not really. I was so disappointed at what I was seeing from all the Serie A. My Brioschi is also the complete opposite of what my indigestion was. Man, did it feel good to see all these Juvendinis cry
Oh
about
my
this call.
God.
Oh my God, Steve! Did you believe it? Did you believe the call that was made? I can't believe it. I can't believe
Stop,
they didn't
stop.
see Candreva. How do you not have that angle?
This is your Juventus voice. Where's your Roma voice?
Bro, did you see the baller? He's world class, bro.
Guys, I love it that we're able to keep it like, a very short time. Steve, are you ready for busted tweets? It's been fun.
Yes,
I
sir.
haven't seen
Let's
you.
go.
Okay, so busted Calcio tweets. What do we have here? This was crazy. He's like,
ciao Ale, come stai?
Ciao Presidente, il vero Presidente, come stai te? Tutto bene?
Tutto bene. Tutto
remember, it
bene,
was like,
grazie.
guys, you have to show up the logo before we get into the busted Calcio tweets. So I'm like, okay, present. So, Steve, Jan is on his way to Italy. He's probably already there. He sent us these, right? So let's see what he has. Door number 1. Leao is great, but seeing people think he comes close to Chiesa is actually unbelievable. Laughing my ass off. Steve, we're talking about the MVP of Serie A. We're talking about a guy that's been injured for half the year. How does somebody tweet something like this?
This is Juventinitis. That's what I call it. It's a disease that affects
I think
Juventini.
Fujis and Funyun calls it Juventism.
Yeah, Juventinitis is very very bad for people, especially on Twitter, because they write garbage like this about that. Like I admire Chiesa. I think he had a fantastic Euro. He was great at Fiorentina. Once he started, at Juve, I think he was dynamic, really a lot of energy. But again, you're comparing again, which I don't like to do because I think they're two different players. And you're comparing Leao, like you said, who is Serie A MVP, to someone who unfortunately, has been injured and will continue to be out until 2023. So,
But this is a condition, Steve. Gio says Juventinitis. It's a condition. It's something that you need to treat, right? Is there a cure?
Juventinitis. Yeah, Juventinitis.
Okay. Door number 2. Who do we have here? Fans should not congregate in public areas and should avoid becoming isolated in areas away from the port area of the city. We strongly recommend you avoid the city center. If you choose to visit, please be aware that you might be targeted for theft, robbery, or assault. From Liverpool FC Help. Steve, what a great way to invite people into the city of Napoli, which you got fucked in the ass, Liverpool. Not just fucked, in the ass with no Vaseline. That's the way I see it. But Steve, what kind of fucking tweet is this, man?
Yeah, this is again a public service announcement. I understand we're afraid of hooliganism and theft and robbery, and especially when English fans are traveling to Naples. But again, you're putting this out there to people who are gonna see this, and I think it's gonna have I think it would have the reverse effect on people. If I'm a Napoli guy and I Google Translate this and I say, what the hell is this Liverpool account writing? Now I don't know if Liverpool FC Help.
This is
Seems
check
like
mark, Steve.
Yeah,
This
it seems
is a
like
check
it's a
mark
check mark
fucking-
account for Liverpool. I think this is the wrong messaging. Liverpool fans and English fans don't have the best reputations with traveling. I don't think they would have liked the Napoli Twitter account to come out and say, if you see people wearing red, stay away from them because they will smash you in the head with a table, put you unconscious, and you'll never be able to live again. So I think this is the wrong messaging. I think this has to be
Definitely.
controlled. And this is a busted Calcio tweet, but for
It's
real busted reasons.
Yeah, definitely. Door number 3. What do we have at Marco Bellizzano? Oh. What is he saying here? Quello di Juventus Salernitana era già un offside cervellotico ha paura che Bonucci non tocca la palla. Adesso però tutte le istituzioni coinvolte hanno il dovere di spiegare se ad esempio la Juventus dovesse mancare la prossima Champions per 2 punti, chi pagherà i danni? Marco's basically saying, he's complaining about, the referee, and he's saying if Juventus would have to miss the Champions League by 2 points, who would pay the debts? Marco, let me remind you that 2 years ago, Napoli let you into the fucking Champions League because you weren't going to make the fucking Champions League because Napoli couldn't fucking win against Verona. And all of a sudden, Marco, yeah, you got robbed. But you know what? Join the fucking club. Join the fucking club. So if you think this is outrageous, whatever, swallow the fucking pill, and that's it. It happens. So again, Marco, welcome to the fucking club. I'm sorry, Steve, I had to swear a little bit, but this is ridiculous.
This is Juventini getting a piece of their own medicine, what people have been going through for almost a decade now. They were always on the right side of every 50-50 call, and lately they've been on the wrong side. And this is, again, my Brioschi of the week. Feel-good moment. Welcome to the club, Juventini. Because Gio says...
So my birthday, we out here drinking Laziale tears, Napoli tears. They taste great.
They do certainly taste good. And you know what, guys? Please don't get us wrong. We know you got robbed. We know you got cheated. We know it was a mistake. But hey, join the fucking club. What do we have next? Imagine Bernardeschi on the right instead of Lozano. Goodness me, at Salad NFL. Imagine Bernardeschi on the right instead of Lozano. What do you think Jan put this in the... because Bernardeschi all of a sudden is a superstar in MLS.
Yeah, Bernardeschi playing in the MLS for Toronto FC right now is better than the Lazio right wing. Look, guys, again, it's 2 different leagues. We're comparing again. Bernardeschi decided to take the money along with Insigne and go to Toronto FC. I have nothing against MLS. I've been watching it a little bit more this year. I think that,
good for him, Steve.
Yeah, good for him. He went for the money and he deserves the opportunity and the choice to do so. But Mohamed Salah, I'm sorry there, buddy. This is
a reason why
he's a busted Calcio tweet. Yeah, there's a reason why no one else signed him.
And we have guys. This is from a Milan account. The video doesn't play, but it's basically a woman black facing herself into like Hobie, and the tweet says Pobega trying to replace Kessie in Milan's lineup. Guys, this is 2022.
We're better than that.
Blackface fucking jokes. Seriously? Do you have anything else? Like, you could have made another Centauri. You could have made something. Sometimes I see his tweets. They're pretty funny, but this was completely out of line. Like, seriously? You need to talk about blackface? And Pobega trying to replace Kessie in Milan's lineup. Steve, has Pobega not played more good games than bad games? I can't complain about Pobega.
I think against Sampdoria was really good. For me, this would be my winner if he wasn't going the racial way. I think it's important that Jan put that there so we talk about it.
Yeah.
I would not make him win to get more to get more views and interactions on what he was trying to do as a joke. I think it was important that we talk about it, but for me, this guy gets disqualified even from the busted Calcio.
No, it can't. No, because this is just completely racist. It's just completely racist, and I don't care. Oh, but I didn't mean it that way. Look, this is social media. You have a following. Think 2 steps ahead before you put a picture of a guy or a girl that's black facing themselves into like. No, this is completely. Yes, Nathan. Completely racist, super racist Calcio tweets, Fujis Funyuns, and we just wanted to mention it. Was this it, Steve? What's the last one? At Thomas Handanovic 1.4, Magna 5 point. Steve, In which multiverse? In which game did they get this kind of star ratings?
I think he got in the Torino game because he actually made some saves.
Ah, okay, okay. So Magnan, is there any game that Magnan deserved a 5.9?
Look, I don't know where he went and get that rating. I don't know if it's from the Sampdoria game, but again, they're everybody's entitled and to give their rating. I just think it's very funny that Interisti magically come out with an interaction tweet like this, where when Handanovic, who they've all wanted to see ride the pine and see Onana start after what he did in Champions League.
Steve Pioli, Inzaghi said it. Ho scelto, but I'm not gonna tell you who I chose. You see that? I love that.
Yeah.
But this is quite busted. But Steve, thanks to Jan, because we have another one. If this was Pirlo, he would have gotten praise for only losing 2-1 and possibly drawing. Unfortunately, not the same for Allegri. At the JFC Gent, listen to me. If you think that the coach makes a difference at tying 2 against Salernitana or getting robbed, there's not many big difference. And Pirlo was a mistake. I'm sorry. Pirlo was a mistake for Juventus. First year coming out of nowhere. Guy had never coached. Steve, what do you think about this one?
I just don't know where he's coming from there. Again,
It's
a coach can make a difference. I didn't really like
yes,
Allegri's
but come on,
changes,
how does
but,
this make any sense?
This is not, again, that's a game for Juve that's to be forgotten. I know you understand you think you lost 2 points. I would rewatch the game and I think you won a point. And take it as a win.
Okay, so Steve, let's look back. Who would be our winner this week? So we have Leao, right? That he can't even come close to Chiesa. We have, Liverpool FC saying don't show up in Napoli because they're going to rob you. We have, I think this one for me really takes it because it's like, wait a minute, I got robbed by the referees. Who's gonna pay all my debts if we lose Champions League by 2 points? So far, Marco takes it for me. Then we have Mohamed Benaneski instead of Lozano. The blackface I can't even nominate because it's not even busted.
No.
It's just fucking racist. It's just fucking racist. This one,
This is just interaction. Someone going.
yeah. Steve, can we go?
I think
agree on
Marco. We have
the Lupo.
We have Liverpool. A lot of people are voting Liverpool.
They're voting the Liverpool.
Liverpool, but that's a checkmark account telling you.
Yeah, you know what? I think our fans are right. It's a checkmark account, and they're like legitimately saying, "Watch out, people! Watch out in Napoli. They're all thieves. They're all gonna rob you." And you know what they did, Steve? They robbed you of 3 points because they fucking massacred you. And Steve, before we end this, I watched the highlights. I'm sorry, this might not be the popular opinion, but I'm gonna go with Liverpool fucking sucked. Not that Napoli was on top, but where was the defense in that game?
No, Liverpool was not ready for that game, and that's not a Klopp-like team. But I think they've been struggling in the EPL as well. So there's something going on there.
But to say that Napoli, oh my God, what a game! Like Liverpool, I understand at 2-0. You open up, Steve. All the plays were doing. The defense were putting their hands in their pockets. Virgil van Dijk, Steve, the best center back in the world. I believe the EPL still has to answer your tweet that you asked. What happened to the best center back in the world? What happened to the best? They haven't answered back, right?
Answer that.
Guys, stay tuned. On Wednesday, you will have Gio and Fabio. You know what? Maybe I will join Gio and Fabio on Wednesday night. We do have the Champions League. It is a 12:45 game. Steve, I'm gonna come and see you this week. Get my man-made T-shirt. We're gonna model it for next week. Napoli on Sunday. Will I see you guys? Milan Club Montreal. I'm going to say this with my heart. Seeing the amount of people that showed up at Chacharos for a derby, guys, I'm sorry, Milan Club Montreal. I was disappointed. I was disappointed to see all the people around the world showing up for a derby. It's very disappointing because we are very interactive in the in the group chat. I understand that we might not be close to a lot of you, but it's a fucking derby, guys. It's a derby, and it's a little disappointing. I hope we have a great turnout for Napoli on Sunday. I'm not mad. I was just a little disappointed. But Steve, thanks for keeping the fort. You're there, and you with Jan as well. And will I see you on Sunday?
No, Gianfranco has a tournament. I'll be at the Ville Saint Laurent tournament, taking place Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
I will be there for you, kind sir, and making sure that maybe the old guard is going to show up. Steve, what if the Napoli club shows up with their little booklet? By the way, my father showed up today with the booklet. Yeah, m'hanno detto un libretto. Napoli goes, they give me. I go, pa, what did they asked me for $5. You see, I got my dad's $5, Steve. I go, pa, what'd you give them the money for? Tell them like you're Milan. Yeah, but they're friends. There was only $5. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Let's wrap it up,
guys. We shall see each other on Wednesday night. Patreon, stay tuned. We will get together on Sunday before the game. Sunday, Napoli, Milan. Steve and I will be back on Monday. Busted Calcio tweets. CBS is on Vinny T on Sunday. Busted Calcio tweet, guys. We'll need your help. Jan is on vacation. We can't ask him to find us some busted Calcio tweets. So please tweet out at us. Reach out to us. It will be our pleasure. Steve, anything in closing?
No, I want 3 points against Dinamo on Wednesday, and a great show for Fabio and Gio and yourself on Wednesday.
You guys are the best. Ovunque e sempre.
Forza Milan!
Ciao, guys.